The 1970s were a very different time in Britain. The streets looked different, the shops looked different, and perhaps most importantly, the cars looked different too. Back then, British roads were filled with familiar shapes and chrome bumpers. Families loaded luggage into large boots before long holidays. Fathers polished their cars on Sunday mornings. And nearly every street had the same handful of British cars parked outside ordinary homes. Some were stylish, some were practical, and some became symbols of everyday life in 1970s Britain. But today, many of these once common cars have almost completely disappeared. So tonight, we're taking a nostalgic journey back through old Britain as we count down 10 British cars every family saw in the 1970s, but are now rare fights. And trust me, some of these cars once seemed impossible to escape.
Number 10. The Austin Maxi. Built by Austin in 1969, the Austin Maxi was one of Britain's first practical hatchbacks. With its large interior, fold-down seats, and roomy design, it became a sensible choice for growing families during the 1970s. Under the bonnet was a reliable four-cylinder engine designed for everyday driving rather than excitement. The Maxi was simple, practical, and comfortable enough for long journeys across Britain. Families liked the space, parents liked the affordability, and children often remember sitting in the back during rainy seaside holidays. But despite selling in large numbers, the Austin Maxi slowly disappeared during the 1980s and 1990s. Today, seeing one on British roads feels surprisingly rare. Number 9. The Morris Marina. Built by Morris in 1971. The Morris Marina was once absolutely everywhere in Britain. It came as a saloon, coupe, and estate, making it suitable for almost every kind of family. The styling was simple and conservative, which actually helped its popularity at the time. Drivers appreciated its straightforward design and low running costs. For many people, the Marina represented ordinary working Britain in the 1970s. But over time, its reputation suffered badly. The car became known for outdated engineering and weak handling compared to newer rivals. Many Marinas eventually rusted away or were scrapped. Today, they're rarely seen outside classic car events. Number 8. The Triumph Dolomite. Built by Triumph in 1972, the Triumph Dolomite brought a touch of style to everyday British roads. It looked more refined than many family cars of its era. Inside, drivers found wood trim, comfortable seats, and a surprisingly premium atmosphere. Some versions even offered sporty performance that made the Dolomite genuinely fun to drive. Families liked the combination of practicality and elegance. It felt slightly more special than ordinary saloons. But British Leyland's reliability problems damaged the car's reputation over time. And as Japanese cars became more popular in Britain, the Dolomite slowly faded away. Today, it's remembered fondly by many classic car enthusiasts. Number 7. The Vauxhall Chevette. Built by Vauxhall in 1975. The Vauxhall Chevette was small, simple, and affordable, and during the late 1970s, it seemed to appear on nearly every British street. The compact design made it ideal for busy towns and narrow roads. Its small engine was economical during a difficult decade marked by fuel concerns and financial uncertainty. Young drivers loved the Chevette because it was cheap to insure and easy to maintain. Families liked its practicality. And for many first-time drivers, the Chevette became their very first car. But like many small British cars of the era, rust became a major problem. Most disappeared long ago. Today, spotting a surviving Chevette feels almost unbelievable. Number 6. The Ford Cortina MK3. Built by Ford in 1970. Few cars defined 1970s Britain more than the Ford Cortina. The Cortina was stylish, spacious, and available in many different versions. From office workers to taxi drivers, almost everyone seemed to own one. The long bonnet and smooth body lines gave it a modern appearance for its time. Inside, the Cortina offered practicality without feeling too basic. Families trusted it. Businesses relied on it. And British streets became filled with Cortinas in every color imaginable. But despite once dominating the roads, most eventually disappeared through age, rust, and heavy use. Today, surviving Cortinas are cherished reminders of everyday Britain. Number 5. The Hillman Avenger. Built by Hillman in 1970, the Hillman Avenger was another familiar sight throughout Britain during the 1970s. It was designed as a dependable family car with simple styling and easy handling. Drivers appreciated its smooth steering and comfortable ride. The Avenger became especially popular among ordinary working families who wanted affordable motoring. It wasn't flashy, but it felt honest and dependable. Over time, however, competition increased dramatically. Foreign manufacturers began offering better reliability and modern engineering, and slowly, the Avenger disappeared from British roads. Today, many younger people have never even heard of it. Number 4. The Austin Allegro. Built by Austin in 1973, the Austin Allegro is one of Britain's most famous motoring stories. At the time, Austin hoped it would replace older family cars and become a huge success. And initially, the public was curious. The Allegro looked modern compared to some older British designs. It offered front-wheel drive, soft suspension, and decent interior space. Many families bought one during the 1970s. But problems soon appeared. Reliability issues, awkward styling, and build quality complaints quickly damaged its reputation. The Allegro became the subject of endless jokes across Britain. Even so, for many people, it remains a strangely nostalgic part of 1970s life. And despite once being everywhere, surviving examples are now surprisingly uncommon. Number 3. The Rover SD1. Built by Rover in 1976, the Rover SD1 looked futuristic when it first appeared. Its sleek shape and large hatchback design made it stand out immediately. Some people even compared its styling to expensive Italian sports cars. Inside, the SD1 felt modern and spacious. The powerful V8 versions became especially popular with police forces and executives. For a moment, it looked like Rover had created one of Britain's finest modern cars. But production problems quickly caused trouble. Build quality issues hurt the car's reputation badly. Still, many Britons remember the SD1 as one of the most striking cars of the decade. Today, seeing one on the road feels like stepping back into 1970s Britain. Number 2. The Austin Princess. Built by Austin in 1975. The Austin Princess had one of the most unusual shapes of any British family car from the 1970s. Its long, wedge-shaped body looked futuristic and slightly strange at the same time. Some people loved the bold styling. Others never fully accepted it. Inside, however, the Princess was extremely spacious and comfortable. The soft suspension gave it a smooth ride that many families appreciated on long journeys. The car became a common sight throughout Britain during the late 1970s. But reliability concerns and strong foreign competition slowly pushed it out of the market. Today, the Princess has become one of those forgotten British cars that instantly brings back memories for older viewers. Number 1. The Ford Escort Mk2. Built by Ford in 1974. There was a time when the Ford Escort Mk2 seemed absolutely unavoidable in Britain. They were parked outside schools, factories, shops, and family homes across the country. The Escort was simple, affordable, and incredibly versatile. Families loved its practicality. Young drivers loved its sporty image, and rally fans admired its impressive motorsport success. Whether as a basic family saloon or a sporty RS model, the Escort became one of Britain's defining cars of the 1970s. At one point, it felt like every family either owned one or knew someone who did. But time eventually caught up with them. Rust, accidents, and decades of hard use caused most to disappear. And today, surviving Mark II Escorts are now valuable classics rather than ordinary everyday cars.
It's hard to believe that something once so common has become such a rare sight.
These cars may not have been perfect. Some were unreliable, some were outdated, and some became the subject of endless criticism over the years. But together, they helped define everyday life in 1970s Britain. They carried families to work, school, holidays, and weekend shopping trips. They filled British streets during a completely different era. And for many people, they remain powerful reminders of childhood memories and old Britain. Today, most of these once common cars have almost vanished from the roads they once dominated. But their stories still live on through photographs, old films, classic car shows, and the memories of the people who remember them best. And perhaps that's why these cars still matter, because they weren't just machines. They were part of everyday British life. If you remember seeing any of these cars back in the 1970s, be sure to share your memories in the comments below.